And so we begin. Perhaps you've wondered how gods and goddesses are even made. Do they just sort of boink into existence? Or are they like us? Do they learn and grow? The story, by the way, will firmly say they learn and grow. When the time came for Bridget to take her place amongst the gods, she went to her father, the Dauda, to see what skills were needed in the world. After looking at his daughter and considering for a long moment, he said, "I think you would do well in the realm of poets. Go visit the hawk of the east, who trained your brother, Ogama, in the ways of words. Seek what learning you may from him." And so Bridget traveled into the rising sun, climbing up and up rocky slopes showered with spring petals until she reached the nest of the hawk of the east. The hawk was singing the song of dawn to her young, coaxing them to open their eyes and beaks to greet the day. With tears in her eyes, Bridget knelt and said, "Never have I heard such sweet music. Will you teach me your song?" The hawk trilled softly. "The song is a gift to be given freely. But know this, once you know this song and have sung it, you must be prepared to teach. For once you make its words, its rhythm your own, it is not something you will be able to hide from the world. The brightness of this song will radiate from you, and many will seek you for inspiration and guidance. Do you still wish to learn?" "Yes, teach me, and I will become the patron of all poets and musicians, that this beautiful song will never be forgotten in all the time of the world." Thus Bridget came to teach humankind the way of poetry and song. But one task was not enough for her. Soon her heart cried out that she could do more, be more. When summer came, she set off to the south, where she knew her brother, Dian Che, had gained great healing knowledge from the proud red stag that dwelled in the tangled woods. Though he led her a merry chase, the young goddess was swift and fleet of foot. After many miles, the stag was still not able to outdistance her, though she was not able to catch him either. As the sun rose to its zenith, he bowed his great rack of horns to her, saying, "I know what it is that you would seek from me. And if you had given up the chase, I would not even consider teaching you the arts of the physician. You will need the same tenacity to battle illness as you would to war against the Fomorians." Out of breath, Bridget panted, I have fire in my heart, in my limbs, and I will not falter with my care." "Then you shall be the goddess of the healers, the physicians. Inspire the craft, remind them of the heart that resides at the core of their vocation. For without the human spirit, the healer can heal no one." Now Bridget tended both poet and doctor. Yet soon she was restless again. She wanted to learn more, her thirst for knowledge driven by the fires of her spirit. So she traveled to the west, to the salmon, who Bridget knew had helped Mother Danu give birth to the Dauda's numerous children. Perhaps there she could quench the fires that burned in her heart. Bridget journeyed through the autumn woods, so intent on finding the salmon's pool that she was all but oblivious to the flaming beauty around her. Eventually, she found the great hazel tree and the spring that flowed up beneath its roots. She looked into the waters, momentarily startled, as a large fish broke through her reflection. "Bridget, daughter of Dauda, what do you seek here in my pool? What has brought you so far from hearth and home to this wild place?" Kneeling, Bridget replied, "Wise salmon, I know not what I seek, but I do know that my heart is restless and discontent with the knowledge I have gained from hawk and stag. Is there something I might learn from you that will calm my soul?" The fish waggled her head back and forth. "Child of plenty, daughter of the deep earth, all that I know will be but a drop in the great cauldron of your spirit, but I shall teach you. You will become the greatest of midwives, tending not only the children of humans, but those of cow, horse, and sheep, and all others who would seek your care. Your touch will soothe the labor pangs of mothers, and your sigh will bring comfort to the fathers. But you will be unable to turn away. Your days and nights will no longer be your own, for new life waits for no one. Do you still wish to learn?" Bridget exclaimed, "Oh yes, Salmon, please. I am sure I will be so busy that my heart will be full at last." The salmon looked shrewdly at the young goddess, but taught her all that she knew. Before Bridget departed, the old fish told her that if her heart still yearned come winter, to visit the bear far to the north. Bridget was actually content for a time, a whole year in fact. But eventually, she became restless again. Her charges flourished. The poets sang like never before. Doctors made new strides in medicine, and rarely did a creature perish under her hands. Yet the emptiness was growing again in Bridget's heart. So, remembering the salmon's words and being a responsible goddess, she packed a satchel and asked her brothers, Dianche and Ogama, to look after her duties until she returned. Following the stars, Bridget traveled for many days until she came upon a great snow-crusted cave. Teeth chattering, she called, "Mighty bear, guardian of the North Star, Salmon has sent me to you. My name is..." "I know who you are, Bridget, daughter of Dauda, son of Alatha," the bear interrupted gruffly. "Salmon mentioned you might make your way to my home. Still not satisfied, eh?" Bridget stammered, Bear snorted. "I should think not. You inspire others, heal others, deliver others' children, but you don't save anything for yourself. Come with me. I gave these secrets to Gorivnu, the smith, long ago, and he used them to wage war. I give them now to you. You may choose to use them as he did, or you may choose to make things of beauty and light. Or perhaps your tastes run more to the practical. Whatever. This is your choice, to be made out of joy and wonder and love, not duty." And so Bridget became the patron of smiths and craftspeople. In shaping the molten heart of the earth, she found her own core. Her time in the smithy filled her heart to bursting, and that pleasure spread throughout all of her other callings as well. And so her nature was complete, a guide and mentor to poets, healers, and artisans until the end of all things. Children and youth are now invited to leave and have some multi-age fun and values building, or you're always welcome to stay. Mm-hmm.
We are a beloved community, a gathering of people who have chosen a journey together to encourage one another and to be part of something important and life-changing. Because we aspire to be such a people, we make bold promises about how we will be with one another. Whether today is your first time or you've made UU Amherst your longtime home, you're invited to share in our sacred promise. Together we promise to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world. Our song of reflection is Winds Be Still, number 83 in the gray hymnal. Please remain seated as we sing.
To this space for many reasons. You might come to hear an interesting and possibly inspiring sermon, and so you are content to sit and connect with the spoken word. Or you may come to sing with others. There are so few opportunities for group singing, and it is a truly holy act, blending voices and engaging the poetry and the tunes. Many of you come to see and visit with friends. This is the place where old and new friends gather, and your spirit is enlivened by the interaction. And all of those are valid reasons for gathering on a Sunday morning in hopes of having your needs and wishes fulfilled. My wish for you this morning and every time we gather is that you'll be nudged to reflect and consider the life that is larger than us. And sometimes that means I stand behind a pulpit or perhaps walk among you. And always it is in the hope that you'll discover that something could happen here. Serpent uncoiling. I am Imbolc, the dream of awakening. As we heard in our story, Bridget is the patron of many paths, music and poetry, healing, attending to new life and creativity. She accepted the gifts of each of the sacred animals at each point on the wheel of the year. In the east, the place of intuition and inspiration and the element of air, she accepted Hawk's morning song. In the south, the place of activity and work and the element of fire, she accepted the stag's gift of healing. In the west, the place of letting go, to go with the flow and the element of water, she accepted the salmon's gift of easing and attending to new life. And in the north, the place of inward care, rest, and renewal, and the element of earth, she accepted the bear's gift of self-care and joyful creativity. And so I wonder, what light will you bring forth in yourself in the places you are called to be? There are 2 altars placed up front, one on either side of the chapel. I invite you to go to the one closest to you and to light a candle from the taper in honor of that which you bring to light in the coming days. What gift will you accept and share? Placing the candles in the sand is going to be a cozy affair. So just be mindful of your fingers and of others' sleeves. Once you have lit and placed your candle, I invite you to take one of the blue strips. They're called cooties. Just little scraps of fabric. These are meant for offering prayers or wishes, and you can hang it on a tree, a clothesline, any space outside where you can place it and be reminded of the blessing that you have claimed for yourself in the fire ritual. If you happen to be sitting next to someone who may have trouble participating, perhaps you can offer to light a candle and bring back a cootie on their behalf. And if you have kids in the children's program, get a cootie for them too. They'll think you're weird, but they'll be secretly pleased. So come forward carefully and lovingly to the altars on either side to light your candles as you wish. Yep. you hear that little hum of energy? There is something really powerful about placing an intention and then doing something about it. So this was the first step. Lighting the flame is the first step of the doing. And sometimes our intentions need to rest a while, just the same way that planting a seed in the earth doesn't pop up the next day, unless, of course, you're Jack and the Beanstalk. But it doesn't pop up with a wonderful, glorious, fully formed plant life, or plant cester, or plant ancestors. I didn't make that up, I borrowed that from someone. It takes time, it takes nurturing. And so as that flame is a shining moment of inspiration, be sure to nurture those intentions. In this time of movement and transition from Imbolc to the vernal equinox, which is about 6 weeks away, the ewes are giving birth to lambs, nourishing them with milk, made from their own bodies, the miracle of mammal life. So on our altar, there is a portion of milk to bless and express gratitude for physical and spiritual nourishment. And so I ask, how will you allow yourself to be nourished or to nourish yourself in the coming weeks? We're only talking about 6 weeks, so you need not set yourself a huge task. What is something small that can be your gift to yourself in self-care or creativity? Maybe it will just be taking a moment to notice the emerging season. So not now, but later, should you decide to, as you take yourself out of the chapel, either before you scamper to coffee hour off to the right, there's a ramp up to the left. And there's artwork on the walls. There's artwork on the walls everywhere in this beautiful, beautiful building. Artwork that has been created and shared by the folks who are here. But I want to point out a certain series of photographs that are up the ramp, and it is a point of view, a place, same place, taken throughout the seasons, and just seeing how the place remains the same and is deeply changed with the seasons. So treat yourself. It's a narrow ramp, so take turns. But be sure to notice all the creativity. We have so many artistically inclined people, and that includes a huge array of possibilities. Just as the portion of milk on the altar represents Bridget's gift of nourishment, I invite you to consider what sweetness you will nurture in your life. How will you nourish yourself? This could be literally the food choices that we make, and it could be the ways we express gratitude for the gifts of the earth. Or perhaps it is another form of sweetness, making a point to listen to music that feeds your spirit, taking a walk in the crisp air, curling up with a good book and a cup of tea. Just a few ways that you might add some sweetness to your life. And sometimes we just need literal sweetness. So if you are so inclined, as some baskets are about to be passed around, I invite you to take a bit of sweetness. An orange, or if oranges are not your thing, there's also some gummy fruit things. Pat, why don't you start at the front, actually, so that everybody's working back? Okay, do it your way. Okay, don't eat them now. This is not your snack before coffee. In fact, As long as you don't lose track of your piece of fruit, maybe carry it around with you for a week. Notice it. Smell it. If you have some of the gummies, crinkle it. Make yourself want to open it. But wait. I will notice that there's more energy around sweet stuff than there is around fire. I'm just making a notice. Yeah, you're going to eat it later. Although I do enjoy the pungent smell of orange. All right, has everyone been served that wishes? And these, we'll put some out in coffee hour too, so that for the kids who are in the program, they get a little sweetness in their life too. Okay. Thank you, carriers of baskets. Make sure you get something for yourselves. During this worship time, we have welcomed and honored Bridget and her many gifts that are ours to partake of and to share. It doesn't matter if you believe in a deity named Bridget, because that's not the point. The point is that we have gathered to take note of a moment of transition and movement. And we have opened ourselves to notice the gifts that are ours and the gifts that can be ours, should we choose them. We have paused to notice. And so we close this portion of our service with a prayer for the sacred pauses by Molly Reamer. Goddess of the sacred pause, please grant me the courage to lay aside swiftness and take up slowness, to embrace limitations as learning, silence as stabilizing, waiting as worthy, and sitting as divine. Goddess of the sacred pause, help me to know stillness as strength, patience as powerful, and healing time as holy necessity. Our song in response is Rising Green. It's 1068 in the Teal hymnal. This song was composed by Carolyn McDade, who also penned the very much loved Spirit of Life. I'm going to invite you to remain seated for the first verse and just listen and learn it as I sing it. And then I'm going to invite you to rise in body or spirit and join me as we sing the remaining verses and offer a benediction to close this portion of the service. I'm going to put words on the screen, but the first words are, please don't sing yet. So just listen the first time through. My blood doth rise in the roots of yon oak, her sap doth run in my veins, boundless my soul, like the open sky, where the stars forever have lain, where the stars, where the stars, where the stars forever have lain. Please rise and sing. My hands hold the weavings of time without end, my sight as deep as the sea, beating my heart sounds of measures of old, that of love's eternity, that of love Please remain standing as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. You may be seated.
As our service draws to an end, our service to the world is ready to begin. Let me tell you about some of the opportunities to connect and serve in the days to come. Please join us for coffee and conversation immediately following the service. We meet in the Emerson room right back there through those double doors at the back of the chapel. A huge shout out and thank you to all who helped with the cleaning and painting extravaganza over the last several weeks. Much has been happening behind the scenes. And there is going to be a big reveal when you get back to your coffee. Hint, when you go to the Emerson room, look down, but don't spill your coffee. You know, these folks work so hard just for fun. Let's have another round of applause for them. If you are interested in what is happening with our Green Justice team and the upcoming Living Green Festival in September, planning begins now. See Wendy Scott. Wendy, are you here somewhere? Where are you?
She's probably in the Emerson room.
Probably. During coffee hours, so you can be added to the Zoom meeting this Thursday evening. And now an announcement regarding the upcoming annual meeting. And Bruce is up here, the man of the hour. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Sorry, no food announcements today. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'm the secretary. This is the required official notice that the 2024 annual meeting of the congregation will be held on Sunday, February 25th, 2024, starting at 12 noon here in the chapel. It will be primarily an in-person meeting, but remote participation will be available via the live YouTube channel. More information will be published in the weekly updates over the next several weeks. And via email, and for those who don't have email, we'll receive a hard copy in the mail. We look forward to your participation at the annual meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Did you know? This week we will get acquainted with the talented and influential Unitarian Fanny Barrier Williams. Now, her place on earth was from 1855 to 1944. You're going to wonder why her story is new to us. So as always, see the church newsletter, The Forward, for information regarding upcoming services and events. Since our return to in-person services following the first wave of the pandemic, we have moved away from passing baskets for the offering during the service. Instead, we invite you to participate in supporting the mission and ministry of UU Amherst with your financial gifts at the end of the service. You'll find a green basket right at the back of the chapel to receive your contributions, and that's Mickey holding the green basket up there that you can't miss. Or you can give online by going to our website, uuamherst.org, and clicking on the giving link, or text your gift to the number on the screen. Your gifts and participation are important because we pick fruit from trees we did not plant. We drink water from wells we did not dig. This is as it should be, so long as we dig and plant for those who come after us. Your generous giving supports the work of this congregation. And now, please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing blessing. Remain standing afterwards for the benediction.
Now look at one another and twinkle your eyes. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy and remember your friend. We do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel this way with us. So be swift to love and make haste to be kind and go in peace. If you want to take it into coffee hour, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.